everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen people on YouTube who has been doing the Jamsu technique, which is basically dunking your face with packed on powder on a bowl of iced water. And it keeps their foundation and their base last longer on their skin. And I've seen them struggle. I've seen 20 seconds of them in the water being such a struggle, and I'm just so scared to do it.
Okay, wait.
So I thought of some idea that doesn't involve ice and water and dunking your face in the bowl. I thought of using a thermal spring water. This is by Avain. Instead of dunking my face in a bowl of ice water, I am going to use this thermal spring water and just drench my powdered packed face with this spring water. It's really nice because this has like a fine mist. I don't know if you see it, but it's really fine, so I don't think it will disturb my foundation. So I'm really hopeful for this technique. So let's start doing foundation. So I'm just going to do my normal foundation routine, and I've already moisturized my face. So I'm going to use this Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, pore minimizing. It's in the purple bottle. To use my Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is my Ride or Die foundation, and I am the color 405. What's your Ride or Die foundation, guys? Because no matter what foundation I try, I always go back to my Makeup Forever HD foundation. It really looks good in photos. It's easy to work with. I heard that I heard so many good things about Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I haven't tried that. I tried Smashbox and it's really good and long lasting, but it's very matte. So, and it's like, it doesn't have that bouncy effect on the face. It just lays on flat, but it's very long lasting. I've tried the Marc Jacobs one, but it really creases afterwards. Like, it really just envelopes your face. And it's really good for like if you want it to be long lasting, but only on such occasions, right? What's your favorite foundation for like daily wear and for special occasion? Let me know down below. So my foundation's done. I'm going to go on and put my concealer. Going to cover my pimple with my Ben Nye tattoo coverall. So for the most important part of this Jamsu technique, I am going to use my RCMA translucent powder to really set my foundation and really pack this on heavily, because that's what they do. So let's start with that amount. So basically, I feel like the Jamsu technique, what it does is it liquefies the powder. So you have that, because when you put on the powder, it's still powder, right? Well, because when you put on the powder, it can still be removed because it has like big particles. So I feel like with the Jamsu technique, when you put water, it liquefies the powder and it just really seals your foundation on. So we'll see. I want this to be even, but I think that's enough. If you can only see all the powders like flying around me, it is quite a lot. So I'm going to put a lot on my forehead because that usually gets oily throughout the day. My hair has a lot of powder. Right, so let's just pack it on. You know the kid from The Ring? I feel like I'm like him now. That's so funny. Okay. I think that's too much. Okay, and the side of my, I'm just gonna put more on the side of my cheeks because that's where my foundation really fades away quickly. Alright, pack that on. Pack. I feel like Patrick Star. You know Patrick Star? He loves a full coverage foundation. He's also Filipino. I love him. And like he packs his what's his favorite powder? Coty Airspun. He packs his Coty Airspun like there's no tomorrow, like slap. Like face beat. But I love that guy. I love him. And then the final step for this Jamsu technique, of course, my thermal spring water. Of course, the last step, I am going to use the thermal spring water. So it says here, directions for use: spray a fine mist on your skin, wait for a few minutes, then gently pat dry. So I'm just gonna spray this all over. Just gonna fan my face. Tastes kind of salty. Did I put too? Oh my god, I'm wet. That's fine. So I'm just gonna fan myself. So I've already fanned myself, and I feel like the remaining water are the ones that is on top of my small hair. So I'm just gonna use a sponge and just pat this, not disturbing like my foundation. This ear is so wet. I think it's almost completely dry, but I'm going to fan it one more time just for good measure. Okay, so here it is close up. No like powder patches whatsoever, which is good because I know that with Jamsu technique, once you've pat your face dry, some of the areas have this powdery patches, but this doesn't have any powdery patches. I can see like the foundation kind of move on this side. Some foundation, like this part of my foundation is thicker than the rest. So I kind of move my foundation, but oh, it's really setting now. It feels so smooth. You know the feeling of a silicone primer when you first put it on? It's that times 2 because it's super smooth. Wow. And it looks really good on camera. Let's see, I'm going to take a photo with flash and no flash. So I've taken the photo without the flash, and weirdly, the one without the flash looks like my face is powdery, but the one with the flash, it looks perfect. No white cast, no anything. So just to make sure that I don't look white throughout the day, I'm just going to put a powder that matches my skin tone. I'm going to pat that powder, making sure that I don't disturb the foundation that I put on. So this is how it looks like. That's how it looks like, and I'm just going to put my bronzer, my blush, and my eye makeup, and I'll be back. So I've already finished my makeup and I am so pleased with the result. And seriously, putting my blush, my highlighter, and my bronzer was such a breeze because my base was so smooth. So the bronzer just slides on very smoothly, my blush slides on very smoothly, and the highlighter, which I always have a problem with because I have textured skin, so the highlighter just slides on easily and it didn't really highlight the texture on my skin. So hopefully it would last long. I would give you guys a 3-hour update, 6-hour, and then the 9th-hour update. 3rd hour and still looking amazing, so I'm just going to update you on the 6th hour. I am amazed because except for the cakiness on the side of my nose, which always happen if I don't put concealer on the side of my nose and I just put foundation, it always happen with any other foundation and with whatever setting spray I use. But yeah, on the 5th hour, and this is, I drove, I cleaned the house, I ate, and I've never seen my foundation really held up like this without me putting a setting spray, which is usually an Urban Decay setting spray or the Scandinavia one. On camera, I see a little shine on my forehead, although this is highlight, and then in between my brows yet again, and kind of a little bit on the side of my cheeks. But it looks more of like a glow than being oily. And really, in person, I'm telling you, in person, my skin looks really smooth. So 3 more hours and I'll give you my verdict on this technique that I experimented. So finally, the 9th hour. I've already changed into my t-shirt. I'm very oily now on my nose. Let me just blot it with an oil blotting sheet. Oops. Very oily and even on my forehead. Oh, so oily that it sticks. So this is how it looks like after blotting my face with a blotting sheet. On the 9th hour, I can tell that this part doesn't have that much foundation, and this part, weirdly, like this part doesn't have foundation. And yeah, it started to get really oily on my forehead and on the bridge of my nose, but it only really started on like the 8th hour. So I still give this technique a thumbs up for sure. I was really impressed on how I didn't use a setting spray and my foundation really stayed until the 4th, 5th, 6th hour. 7 kind of fading, and 8 it's kind of oily. I say if you have dry to normal skin, this technique would better suit you. But if you have combination to oily skin, I feel like it would only work if you put on a mattifying primer first before doing this technique. But overall, I am really pleased with how the foundation performed on my skin after doing the thermal spring water spray technique. You can't just finish this in a few months, I feel like, and I don't know what else to use it for. So now I have something to use it for. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you plan on doing this technique, please tag me and do a hashtag #AllDolledUpByC. I would love for you guys to try it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope to see you guys on my next one. Bye! Mwah. Salamat!